Yeah, so we were talking when we were prepping for this this show, this podcast, and Beer Mug kind of brought up this disturbing situation that's happening with the crew of the Jackass guys, right? Mugs,
Yeah,
kind of fill us in what's happening right now.
Well, according to Harvey Levin and TMZ, Bam has been kicked off the Jackass 4 production, and I guess apparently they started filming it at the beginning of last year, 2020, and then was shut down because of the pandemic.
Yeah, Stryker and Klein had Steve-O on about a month whenever he pulled his billboard stunt. We talked to him, and he said that literally the day everything went on lockdown was their first day of shooting, and they were only shooting for one day before they had to kind of like shut everything down.
So apparently they picked up production again, and things did not go well with Bam Margera, and he took to his social media, his Instagram, and he was just ripping Johnny Knoxville, Jeff Tremaine, and Spike Jonze, the directors.
Wow.
Saying that how he backstabbed, he was going after Paramount. Apparently, according to Bam, that they wanted him to take his antidepressants. He had to check in every day because apparently, I mean, I don't know if for those of you who remember Bam, I mean, he was to see him how he looked when he in the Jackass Viva La Bam days, and to see him now, so he did not age well. I mean, no, he looks.
In preparation for this interview, Muggs, I saw that video, and you did it justice, kind of explaining how he looked, but it's still shocking to see. I was prepared for it. The guy is in his 40s. He looks like he's in his late 60s.
Yeah, he looks older than his dad.
It's crazy, man. He's in bad shape, and you could tell he's on something. And in the video, he like dry heaves during the one portion of it. It's pretty bananas, and he has a history of abuse and going into rehab. He was even on Dr. Phil. He was reaching out, so this kind of screams to me that he's crying out for help, but doesn't know, or maybe doesn't want help. I'm not sure. What about Dr. Drew? Do you think Dr. Drew would be a good guy to talk to about this?
Look, guys, if he's good enough to bring the Jersey Shore cast together, I think he's good enough to speak with us.
Let's
give him a call.
Yeah, let's give Dr. Drew a call and see if he has any kind of insight on this. Because I have one kind of really... I want to ask him what people should do from afar.
Yeah. How do you help these people?
I'm sorry I'm not available right now. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can.
At the tone.
Come on, Drew. Should have called him
Well,
again.
there was our interview with Dr. Drew. But do you want to play a little bit of the audio for those who haven't heard it or seen it of Bam kind of just in his rant?
No, for sure. I just want to get a gauge on the whereabouts of Mr. Drew Pinsky if we only have a limited time with him.
Okay.
So.
Well, we already know he's not going to talk. He doesn't want to talk to us.
No, I'm sure he probably didn't recognize the number, so decided not to. I mean, what do you do when somebody calls you and you don't recognize the number? You don't pick up that shit. You're like, hell no.
Or it's COVID fog.
Or it's COVID fog.
Drink.
Is that going to be like the ongoing thing now on Janky Town?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. Man. Dude, that was so much fun. I had so much fun there. Any response from Mr. Drew Pinsky? We could just roll on with the audio if he's unable. I just wanted to talk to a professional because I didn't want to sound like some sort of yahoo that doesn't know, because I don't know. All I do is peer in through. What am I trying to say here? I'm just a spectator looking in, and Dr. Drew is a guy who's been there and has more perspective and is a professional, and he's able to speak on these matters. Because I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Give him another ring. He hasn't texted me back, but let's try it again.
Okay. And Dr. Drew's a medicine addiction specialist. Is that what he is?
Board certified.
Okay. Well, this guy definitely has been around the block.
I'm sorry I'm not available right now. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly.
But I guess he doesn't want to be around any of Janky Town's blocks.
All right, I'm gonna go get my I'm gonna get my white lab coat and I'm gonna put it on, and then I'm gonna pretend that I am a doctor.
You know what? Okay,
Dr. Mugg.
Dr. Muggs is in the house. Okay, so you know what? I feel more confident because we at least attempted to talk to a professional. And listen, Janky Town, we don't know what's happening with Bam, but we do want to play you this audio. Definitely, in my opinion, and these are all our opinions. Nothing, we don't want to be like, oh, you guys are fucked up and all this, but I have some feelings about this, and, hopefully we could, I don't know, inspire somebody to do something differently in their lives. Because the one thing that really tripped me out, Muggs, and tell me if you had the same reaction, was the people on social media that were kind of egging him on, and not only egging him on, but also the other people that were just like, here we go, and kind of like rubbing their hands together and like, oh, it's showtime. Like, wow, what kind of human being are you?
Yeah, it was very disconcerting. Like, well, I mean, look, the behavior that is being displayed by Bam is not really conducive to not like egg people on, because he is taking to his social media and pretty much saying boycott Jackass.
He wants that, right? Yeah.
He wants that drama. He wants the beef. So he's getting a lot of, Bam, you've lost it. Bam, lay off the sauce. Bam, what are you doing?
Right.
A lot.
Yeah.
And it's, it sucks because you want people to go and help, the guy, but at the same time, you can't help someone that doesn't want to help themselves,
No, I agree.
Which is crazy. Because like his friend Brandon Novak, who was at one time going to be as like good of a skateboarder as Bam was going to,
right?
He was a recovering heroin addict.
Oh my god!
And he is like all of a sudden he's done a 180, and he's like a self-help guy now. So it's like it's that guy. If anything, I mean Brandon Novak would know the best how to help his. It's his like best friend, Bam Margera.
For sure. Okay, we got the all clear. I think Dr. Drew will pick up this time.
Nice. So this time we got him.
And then, we'll talk to Drew a little bit about, what his thoughts are, and then we'll play some of the audio.
Guys, I was using big words, guys.
You were.
Did you notice that?
Very smart. Well, it was the white lab coat.
I didn't even need it.
Dr. Drew?
Gentlemen?
How are you, man?
Dr. Drew.
It is really good to hear your guys' voice. It really is.
Hey, Drew, you're on with Janky Town, man. What are you doing? Why are you on with us, dude? Come on.
Hey, I love that
Good
reaction.
answer.
Best reaction
I love that reaction.
for.
Dr. Drew, you've spoken a lot about, your long haulers kind of from COVID and your COVID fog. How is that going, man?
It's been better. Today I'm having kind of a bad day. And when radio professionals, when I hear three voices simultaneously, it can overwhelm me a bit.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Beer Mug is, he had the COVID, and he's suffering from the exact same thing. And I always call BS on it. But now that I heard it from you, I can't call BS on it anymore because you're somebody that's very dependable and actually smart. So I believe that it's a real thing when it's coming from you.
How long has he been sick?
Well, I got it early November, right around Thanksgiving. And then I pretty much I felt foggy for like the 3 months after, and now I'm okay. Yeah. I've been screened, Dr. Drew. I have an all clear in the lungs. All my blood tests came back good, so I'm good. Knock wood.
All right, good. All right, excellent.
All right, Dr. Drew.
But stuff, that 3 month foggy period, though, the stuff we can do now for you. So if anyone else is suffering from that, talk to your doctor.
Cool.
Awesome.
So the reason we wanted to have you on, Dr. Drew, is because Bam Margera seemingly is going off the rails, and he's taking to social media to boycott the new Jackass movie. And it seems like he fell off the wagon. He's not sober anymore, and I'm not sure exactly what he's on. Are you abreast about what's happening with him?
I'm not. I know he struggled with substances for a long time. I was not aware that he was ever sober. Is that for sure that he was?
You know what? That's just me speaking from what I heard on this this audio. Do you have a bit to listen to this audio and kind of his rants?
Sure.
Okay. Here, let me play this for you.
Who the fuck cares if I'm drunk as hell or not anymore? Jackass has put me through fucking hell on fucking wheels for a year and a half, keeping me in Pennsylvania. I couldn't leave if I left, or else I'd have breathed into the sobriety link at 3 o'clock every day, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Then a random beep would go off. No matter where I was at, I had to fucking stop whatever I was doing and go to an urgent care to go piss. Then I had to wake up every day with a handful of antidepressant pills that I would have to show Paramount Pictures that I took them and swallowed them every single day.
So it just seems like he's upset because Paramount actually, obviously it's a huge liability if, anybody contracts COVID or, he stops down production, right? I mean...
Well, it's not that. It's that he, the fact that he has mandated urine toxicology and mandated participation in pharmacotherapy means he was pretty sick, number one, and that, that they were worried about him decompensating. And it also means that he's really not doing anything in terms of recovery. He's just in a highly structured situation where they're kind of controlling him, and that usually kind of blows up. I mean, some people can stay sober that way, but usually not. So I'm not surprised that it didn't stick. It goes to a certain point, and then they start using.
He has, I know his inner circle. He's always posting on his Instagram. One of his closest friends is actually a recovering heroin addict. I don't know if you've heard of him, Brandon Novak, but I know
Brandon very well.
Yeah, I guess the saying's true. You can't get help if you don't want to help yourself. What can Brandon do? Being such close friends with him.
It's a little bit of a misnomer in that saying you can't get help. I mean, you can motivate people to get help and do the right thing, but you have to really work on them. And they have to eventually get to the point where they want to do it themselves. There has to be some sort of an epiphany where they go, okay, this is starting to, feel good. I'm starting to feel better. I see what they're trying to get me to do. And this isn't so bad after all. Or you have someone who's resistant the whole way and is just being forced to do it. And that usually doesn't work out. Forced care, mandated care usually does not work out very well. You have to have motivated care, whether their job depends upon it, whether they're lively, whether they make money. You have a million ways to motivate people. Ideally, you hope the motivation is just that they want to have a better life and get well. But sometimes people have to go very, very low. I mean, Brandon was living on the street for years as a heroin addict before he finally got with it. And his recovery is sort of miraculous. These really low bottoms where people are in prison multiple times and are, on ventilators and overdose and are on the streets and still don't go well. Remember our buddy Mike Catherwood? He was on life support so many times he can't even count. And that wasn't when he got sober.
So do you honestly, Drew, do you think that Bam just hasn't hit rock bottom enough where, he desperately needs that help? Or wants it?
I am very loath to say that people have to hit bottom because it's so dangerous these days, particularly with all the fentanyl around. What I'm saying is he clearly hasn't found the motivation yet.
Okay.
And how you get him to the place where he's motivated to do the work, it's a very difficult challenge, but you can do that. You can find ways to motivate people to get well. You can.
Right.
But forcing it is usually not the way to do it.
Yeah, we see him going on his social media and stuff, and then as his followers, like Beer Mug, not that he does this, but they egg him on. Like, what can we do to, what can we do as a society to be like, on social media especially, like, hey, if we say get better, get better, get better, do you think that would help?
Muggs, now what did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do? What happened?
I mean, it's all my fault, Drew. It's all my fault. Bam's downward spiral, I guess.
I think all you can do is you essentially have to do what you do in any relationship with somebody who's going down dangerously. You have to say, it's so painful to see you dying. We're watching you die in real time, and I can no longer be a part of this. And you have to withdraw. You have to stop contact, stop following, stop escalating this thing. But you really have to make it clear to them that it's going to be very painful to stand over their grave and wish there was something we could have done.
Yeah, I think that's the reason we haven't really heard anything from any of the Jackass 4 guys because of that reason. And it really saddened me, Drew, because there's a ton of people, because here's Bam, calling people to action, and there's people on board, his hardcore fans saying, F this, yeah, Bam, or whatever, but they're just adding fuel to that flame.
If he dies, they are responsible, or at least they have a role to have played in it. I'm sure that Steve-O and other recovering folks in his life are working very hard to try to come to his aid, but sometimes you back off for a while, and they may be just doing that right now. So
Jesus, man. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on Janky Town for a little bit. Hey, I don't keep up with all the podcasts you have. What do you have going on nowadays?
Go to drdrew.tv. I'm doing streaming shows that you get a blast there, and we do, I'm doing a show with Corolla 3 times a week. I do a show by myself. And,
cool.
Do a show called After Dark over at your mom's house with Tom Segura's wife, Christina P.
Nice.
And that's fun. That's a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, I hope the COVID fog goes away totally, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Me too.
All right, man.
All right, guys. Talk to you.
Thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
Bye.
Thank you. You too.
That was awesome, man, that he took the time to, talk to us. I mean, we're definitely, when you have the Kevin and Bean totem pole, we're in the dirt. You know what I mean? We're not even part of the actual totem pole.
There's the base, and then we're underneath it.
Yes. But I didn't want
to landfill.
I didn't want to bore Drew with the entirety of this Bam audio.
No, that was perfect.
Yeah, that was perfect. But for the people that want to check it out, I want to play the rest of it because I think this shows you how disturbing this entire video and this saga is, and I really do hope that Bam finds the help he needs, because I remember back to the Jackass TV show days, and he was very lovable, I thought.
Yeah.
Right?
I still love him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was the way he incorporated his entire family into his whole show was the best. You fell in love with all of them. Don Vito, Phil, April. But that's why I'm so watching this is just, it's depressing.
It's not the Bam that we grew up with and loved. Here is some of the audio, and we'll start and stop it as we go.
Steve-O has been sober as fuck since 10 years. If he had a breathalyzer, he's gonna go camping one day and not have any internet reception. He's gonna sleep through one or two. He's got people. They set me up with such a fucking hard mission and then COVID happened for a year against anyone's knowledge. So now I just spend $90,000 in a rehab for 90 days at my expense. I had to go to 30 days in Florida for a rehab at my expense. I had to pay for therapists that they recommended at their expense, but I had to pay for it. I have...
Just in bad shape, man.
Bad.
I wrote them so many ideas, and if I'm not in the movie, and they use my ideas, how do you think that'll make me feel? The last thing I want to do is be in a courtroom with Jeff fucking Tremaine. I love him. What the fuck, man? I'm not in Jackass 4. If anybody cares about me, don't go see their movie, because I will make mine way fucking radder if you just Venmo me $1. Just $1. If you send $100, I'll remember your name and write it down and striggle it.
So he's straight up
asking more than that, and I'll do more.
Yeah. He's asking
to produce a movie against Jackass 4. But yeah, it's just.
Oh, is that? Oh, sure.
Yeah. I mean, who knows, right? You're right, but it's just the whole thing is kind of.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad to see. And if I wake up tomorrow and it's like, Bam Margera was 46, I'm just gonna be. It's just gonna add to my depression.
Yeah,
it's gonna.
And it gets worse. He starts dry heaving for no reason, and then he starts talking to Moggs. You saw the video. Is it his wife at the end of the video? Do you remember?
I think it's just fiance or new girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
And she looks like, what the fuck's going on? Kind of look on her face.
Yeah, man, it's terrible. And so I mean, listen. People on social media, be smarter. If you don't have anything good to say, just bow out, I think, and don't don't feel this, because this is just, we don't need another person because of, BS like this to downward spiral and get worse. I mean, who knows what he can do? He could just snap and who knows what could happen. I mean, best case scenarios, he does something that's a little dumb and he goes to jail, and hopefully that's his rock bottom, and then he'll seek the help that he needs. But, dude, well, hopefully he'll get the help he needs.